So you ain't got life all figured out yet, huh? Me neither. You maybe you're in your early 20s, maybe in your mid 20s, late 20s, maybe you in your 30s, or maybe you're older than me. You ain't got life figured out. Shit, I don't have life figured out. I don't really know many people who do. I don't I don't have a bunch of money. You ain't got a bunch of money, and I don't have a bunch of money. I don't know many people who do. Even, you know, some of my neighbors who have way more money than I do. I know that if something happens to their job, well, they're going to lose all that. So, does that mean they don't have it figured out? Probably. I'm sure they're just going with the motions just like the rest of us. I'll tell you this though. If you are in your 20s and you feel lost, you feel directionless, you don't know where you're going with the wind, you don't know who you are, you start to kind of figure that out as you get into your later 20s and your early 30s. I'll be 31 this month. I'm finally starting to figure out who I am, who I want to be, my identity. I'm starting to come into my own right. And you know, you always know who you are. You know what I mean. Like, you know what kind of person you want to be. But sometimes everything can be a bit overwhelming. And as you get older, you get wiser, you learn more. I'm telling you, you'll know what I mean when the time comes. You start realizing who you are, who you want to be, what you want to do. Now, I still don't have everything figured out, right? And I probably won't for a long time. But we don't have to. I don't think it's a rule. We have to have it figured out by a certain age. And especially if you're in your early 20s, man, you got so long. You got so much learning to do. I learned a lot in my 20s. I learned a lot. Made a lot of mistakes. And apparently that's the best way that I learn is mistakes. Mistakes that I won't repeat. You know, you learn what to do, what not to do, and by the time you get to 30, mistakes you made, you won't make them again, right? Financial situations you get yourself into in your 20s, super easy to do. Well, you learn from that. I'm not doing that again. There's no way I'm going in there and buying a car with 25% interest. I'm not doing that again. Right? Stuff like that. You learn. You learn what's important, what's not important. I'll just drive a beater around for the next 20 years. You know what I'm saying? I'll drive that baby around till it just I just got absolutely no choice. I'm falling through the seats, falling through the floorboard. Then I'll go get another car that's 20 years old, that's in a little bit better shape. I don't care to impress nobody. And maybe if you're in your early 20s, even your teens and all that, you're worried about, man, I got to have a nice truck. I got to have an awesome truck, dude. Freaking roadie down the road, dude. He's got a super jacked up, squatted 55s, man. I got to have something like that with some pipes, man. All that stuff's cool when you're young, but it really just doesn't matter when you get older. When you get, for some people maybe, but for me as a 30-year-old man, I feel a lot more mature now, a lot more clear-headed. I can problem solve a lot better. I can think a lot more. I remember starting my first real job, my first blue-collar job when I was 18. It was on workover rigs in the oil field. It was tough. There's a lot of I guess you'd call it hazing. I don't know what you'd call it, where you go through these phases where they're just giving you such a hard time, man. And then all the tools and everything have different crazy names, you know, and they try to go get you to find tools that don't exist. All that doesn't last long, by the way. If you're starting a new trade, that don't last long. Pretty soon they'll start treating you like one of their own. Next thing you know, you're joining in on all the fun when the next new guy comes, you know. And then those guys will be some of the best guys you know most of the time. Yeah, so you'll lose your temper too. You know, not maybe not everybody, maybe not completely, but I'm definitely not as hot headed as I was when I was in my early 20s. Man, I will let stuff go that I never thought I would let go. You know, used to wouldn't take much. You could look at me wrong, and I was a little guy, so get my ass whipped a lot. But just saying, it didn't take much. Now I'm like, nah, I don't want in it. Don't want to do with it. Somebody looks at me wrong. They're just looking at you. It can't hurt. But yeah, to have it all figured out, I just don't see it happening ever. I don't even think the celebrities have it all figured out. We see these celebrities, millionaires, billionaires on TV and everything. We see their highlight reels and all. Wow, it looks like those guys really got it figured out. I wish I was like that. But then you see a bunch of them in jail. You see mug shots. You see how they're messing up. They're losing their kids. They're getting divorces. They don't have anything figured out either, man. Nothing figured out. Me and my wife, we've been married for since 2014. We still don't have marriage figured out, man. We get along great, but we also argue over stupid stuff. We get in dumb fights. We don't have that figured out. But anyway, I guess I'm just making this video to let you know that if you don't have it figured out, you're not alone. And I don't know if we'll ever figure it out. But we're all going through the same stuff, through the same struggles. When the older you get, the wiser you get. I'm telling you, you may be in your early 20s and you may feel depressed, lost, and down. But man, the older you get, you start to figure out who you are. As long as you're a good person. The only thing I can say is, or some advice I might could give is, if you are in your early 20s, you still live with your parents, and you feel bad about that, and you're working, you feel bad because you live with your parents. I know it's hard to buy a house in this economy, but man, I wish I had stayed with my parents as long as I could, at least till I was 25, and just stack the money up. Just stack it up, man. Don't go out and buy the most expensive, crazy 4-wheel drive, jacked up, squatted, lowered truck you can buy with the loudest pipes and the biggest. Just buy a little beater. Stack your money up. Buy you a few beers. Stack your money up. You're not behind. Nobody's behind. Everybody's just in different stages of life. Things can change in 5 years. Your buddy that you're looking at who's got all the stuff you wish you had, things can change in 5 years. You may have way more than him. Let's just, in this situation, let's say you stayed with your parents till you were 25, stacked your money up. All right, well, that year you move out, now you got way more than him. Not that that matters. It don't matter. I'm just saying that things can change, and, you know. But anyway, made this video just to say, none of us have it figured out, guys. None of us. It don't matter how old we are, what stage of life we in. We don't know what the hell's going on, and we just going with the wind. And man, shit happens.